Alright, so we are out on another early morning adventure. I had intended to wake up a lot earlier than it is right now, but in my haste before bed last night, I neglected to change my alarm to AM instead of the default PM that it was set to. So, didn't wake up when I wanted to, but it's early anyways, before the sun's up. Needed to get out of the house because I've been cooped up all week. It's been hot, it's been smoky, just kind of been working away and itching to get outside and do something. So I don't know what we're gonna see today. It's pretty smoky out right now, so it might be a really smoky sunrise. But I'm gonna head to a location I've been to numerous times before. It's got a nice view of the mountains and stuff. We're just gonna check it out and then probably make some coffee, see if we can't turn lemons into lemonade. I also have some other things that we can talk about as well if the photo portion of things is a bust. But yeah, that's kind of what we're doing right now. It's about 5 in the morning and we're just on the way out there. So I'll catch you guys up here in a little bit. So behind me is the spot that I was heading to, and as you can see, it's super smoky and hazy out right now. Kind of figured that would be the case. This is actually where I was going to come this morning, and I was going to come here early to try and catch the tail end of the Perseids meteor shower. Wasn't able to get out during the week because of work, but looks like wouldn't have really been worth my time with all the smoke out here. So maybe I'll snap a couple pictures and see what I can get. If there's anything good, I'll throw it up on the screen, but it's definitely really smoky. It's nice and cool out though right now, which is a nice break from the 100-degree temps of the last few days. So yeah, we're gonna enjoy it out here for a little bit and see what the light does. So that little spot I just crossed back there on the rocks is normally a couple feet underwater, so the only way to get to this little island that I'm on is usually a kayak or a boat or something. So the water is definitely quite low. I think that's the case for most lakes up here in the Pacific Northwest. This one typically gets fairly low in the late summer. It doesn't look as bad as I thought it would, but still definitely pretty low. I think I'm just gonna chill out here and have a snack and then probably head back to the truck, and then we'll get started with the next portion of this video. Man, the worst part about being the first one down these trails is spider webs everywhere. They always go right across your face. All right, back at the truck. Let's head somewhere we can post up, and we'll talk about what's next for the Tacoma. So the first thing on my list to tackle that I'm probably going to start either this weekend or coming up really soon is a better storage solution for the back of the truck. Now I currently use these little black and yellow totes. They work great. It allows me to keep everything together, allows me to pull it out and put it away when I'm not using the truck to camp. But I'm looking for something a little bit better, more organized, and perhaps maybe a little bit more permanent. So what I'm thinking about doing is building in basically kind of a wood U-shaped structure in here. Probably come out about a foot or so from the bedside, maybe about a foot or so from the front. And basically just a U-shaped storage area in here. And what that's going to allow me to do is basically have a home for all of the things that I normally bring, like the stove and pots and pans and just all of those things. It'd be accessible from all sides of the truck and really just keep things nice and tidy so I'm not shuffling totes around and stuff. But that's kind of my thoughts and ideas there. It'll be really also kind of twofold. It'll house some other projects that I'm going to be doing as well. And there'll be seating in the back of the truck, which will be nice because the fridge takes up a certain space in the bed. So the fender wells, take up some space too. So not a ton of usable storage right here, but if I build something out and have storage kind of underneath it, I'll have benches on both sides. So when the top is popped and the sleeping platform is lifted up, there'll be a spot on each side of the truck for somebody to sit. And it'll just be kind of a nice place to hunker down and relax on the inside of the truck if the weather's bad or it's super cold or anything like that. So I'm talking about these things in really the order that I'm going to do them. And the storage solution in here is really the first thing that needs to be built because it's going to house a lot of components of future projects. Now, before we get into that, another future project is I want to design and then have cut a nice mole panel here for this bulkhead area. That'll give me spots to strap things onto and extra storage, which will be super helpful for things like fire extinguisher, first aid kit, whatever. One of the next things I'm going to do after this storage component is solar. So my plan is to put a solar panel on the roof of the canopy here, and then the electronics like the solar charge controller and all of that will be on the panel that I'm going to have made back here. And then tying into that will be a secondary battery. So that battery should be able to live right in here somewhere. We'll see TBD on that, but it'll be part of the cabinetry and living in there. So I'm going to build a spot for that as well. And then another thing that I want to do is get rid of kind of my blue water tank that I bring and this little DIY shower that I bring sometimes, and put a water tank right back here, something 10 gallons around there that would fit inside and be kind of low profile, a little bit longer. And then I'd probably wire in maybe an electric pump into it and kind of a spigot somewhere where you'd plug in a hose, things like that, basically to allow you to use it as a shower, use it as your water source for cooking and things like that. So first project, storage back here. The next project that's coming up is going to be solar and the addition of a secondary battery. Then we're going to build in the water tank. And now the third project, or maybe fourth if you count the water tank as one, is I want to put in a diesel heater for this winter. I've been thinking about that for a while, kind of thinking about how I wanted to do that and execute that. And I think if I'm going to have basically, semi-permanent storage in here, then I'm just going to incorporate that diesel heater into the storage that I'm building in here. So that'll live in here somewhere as well. It'll be, plumbed in, have the fuel pump and the fuel tank and all that stuff in there, and then tied into the secondary battery that I'm going to add back here. So that's really what's on the roadmap for the inside of the Tacoma. It's pretty functional right now and definitely super usable, but solving the storage, making that a little bit better will be hugely beneficial and definitely welcomed. And then the addition of solar and a second battery is going to allow me to do some longer trips and also incorporate the water tank with the pump and the diesel heater for the winter time. So that's kind of what's in store for the bed of the truck and kind of the camping setup. Why don't we talk about some things on the outside of the truck that I want to eventually do to it. Whether I get to those this year or not is yet to be seen, but let's jump onto those things. All right, so something I'm hoping to accomplish relatively soon after, of course, kind of the livability improvements in the back is upgrade the suspension on the truck. Now I have the Bilstein 5100s on here and some OME springs on the front and add a leaf in the back, and it does all right. It's definitely better than what it was stock, but I'm in search of some better performance, maybe a little bit more adjustability, something to just improve the ride quality a little bit. Now I'm exploring kind of what's out there, but I'm leaning pretty heavily towards Icon Vehicle Dynamics and one of their either stage 2 or stage 3 kits for this. We'll see on that, but that's definitely kind of what I'm looking to do, is just give the suspension an upgrade all around and greatly improve the ride quality both on and off-road. But definitely nothing wrong with the OME from a standpoint of just the cost. It was really affordable, and it was definitely a huge upgrade from the stock setup that I had on here. Something else that I might get around to next year, maybe towards the middle of the year, is new wheels and tires for this. Now, I absolutely love these tires. They do great in the snow and all of the terrain that I've been on with them. So I might stick with them, or I might move over to Falcons and try their all-terrains. But these are about 5 years old now, so getting lower in the tread. And I would like to change up the wheels. I like these wheels. These are off a 3rd gen Tacoma. I think they look sharp on this truck, but I'm looking for maybe something that just sticks out just a smidge more. And I also really like black wheels. I think they look pretty good with this truck. Something like what Method offers or something like that. Not really sure yet which brand I'm going to go with, but that's definitely something that's on the roadmap for me. Maybe a little bit later next year, we'll see how these tires continue to wear through the winter and how they perform this winter in the snow. But yeah, definitely something else that I'm looking at doing to this truck. So moving over to the front of the truck, I'm definitely looking to upgrade the light bar that's up here. This is just a cheap Amazon special, and I actually got it for free. It was given to me because the person who used it prior no longer needed it, and it happened to fit this space on the bumper quite well. It gets the job done, but I'm searching for kind of more performance, a little bit more distance down the road, help with spotting deer further down the road. This produces really a lot of glare in comparison to how much throw it has. My headlights actually have further distance when the high beams are on. So looking to improve this. Not sure yet what I'm going to go with, but I'm also looking at something that's amber, has the amber lenses on it, because that just is going to do better with a lot of the areas that I'm driving in and really help with the visibility at night and inclement conditions. So yeah, not sure what brand or what kind of lights I'm going to go with. I definitely like the big round headlights like Baja Designs, like the LP6 or something like that, or other brands out there. I think the round look looks really good on this bumper and on these Tacomas, but we'll see on that. Something else that I'm looking to do is add some lights back here to help with nighttime visibility, maybe some scene lights on the side as well, again for kind of nighttime campsite visibility, things like that. And then basically a backup or like a reverse or rear view mirror camera, kind of get one of those nicer digital rear view mirrors with a camera up here to help with visibility. Obviously, I don't have a window in the back of this, so it is difficult to kind of see around you. I do have a backup camera that does work quite well, but an image from up here, up higher, and also something that's constantly on so I can see directly behind me as I'm driving down the road would be super beneficial, especially if it's got built-in dash cam functions, which I'm definitely looking forward to and want, is the ability to record front and rear all the time because there are just a lot of people that shouldn't be on the road, and I think having a dash cam these days is super smart. So that's really it. I mean, the Tacoma is already really highly functional how it currently is. I don't really need to do a lot of what I just talked about. The things that I want to do are just kind of further improvements to the setup and making it even more functional than it already is, but I'm super happy with how things are laid out. Now, this is not kind of a review on the truck and how things are set up. I plan to do a full kind of review on the topper and everything once I get to basically like the 1 year mark on it. I really wanted to give it as much time as I could to live in it and experience it and find all the things that I like and don't like about it. So that'll be coming up towards the end of the year. This is more just a look at the projects that I have coming up here soon. A lot of these things I'm looking to tackle relatively quickly. I think wheels and tires and the suspension, that's probably going to take a little bit longer. Those are more expensive components, but definitely solar and the storage on the inside, as well as probably the lights on the bumper. And another thing too that I want to add and tackle at some point is a rear locker and onboard air. Those aren't as important to me. I don't really get myself in a lot of situations where a locker would be super beneficial, and I do have a compressor already, but again, it'd just be more convenient to have that air built into the truck. So yeah, that's a look at the projects that are coming up in the future. Hope you guys stick around for those videos. Please subscribe and definitely stay tuned. There'll be DIY videos documenting the process of building out that storage and the solar and the second battery and the diesel heater and the water tank. So lots in store, lots coming. I know you guys like the DIY projects and those videos that I bring. So stick around for those. Leave a comment below. Let me know what you guys would like to see. And thanks for watching. I'll catch you guys in the next one.